Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are one of like me who wants to switch his or her career into DevOps or want to start the career in the DevOps and interested to learn the new technologies related to DevOps tools like Ansible, Chef, Puppet, Git and Jenkins, then you have click on the right video. Before we start with today's video, I would recommend you to watch one of my video on configuration management under DevOps playlist. This video will help you to understand what is configuration management, what is push configuration, what is pull configuration. Now let's move back to the agenda of today's video. In today's video, I'm going to basically speak about a tool called as Ansible and why Ansible is so popular among the other configuration management tools like Chef, Puppet. Let me demonstrate you with a small presentation in which I will walk you through about what is Ansible, what are the benefits of Ansible, Ansible architecture, and one surprise, what is Ansible Tower. So let's move towards the presentation. Let's learn what is Ansible. The one thing in mind comes when we hear the word Ansible is automation IT. And Ansible is an open source automation platform. In simple words, it's a powerful automation engine which helps you to automate your repetitive tasks, application deployment, configuring the servers, and many more. The common use cases where the Ansible is popular is number one, provisioning the environments. A simple example of this is configuring the Linux VM on EC2 instance in AWS cloud. The second, configuring the servers. Number third is security patches. Before Ansible, the system admins used to log in manually to each and every server and used to execute the latest security patches. But with the help of Ansible, the system admin's job has become easier. Now they do not need to log in to multiple servers manually. All they need to do is establish an SSH connection and run a simple playbook on an Ansible automation engine where the Ansible is installed, and it will execute the latest security patches on multiple servers. Number fourth, application deployment. Number fifth, firewall configuration. With the help of Ansible, you can easily allow or not allow an HTTP and HTTPS connections on your server or not by writing a simple playbook in Ansible. Moving to the next one, let's talk about what are the benefits of Ansible. Number one, free. The Ansible is a free open source tool. So that means anyone can download the Ansible on their local computer and start automating the things. Number second, very simple to set up and use. The Ansible does not require any coding skills. It is written in a simple YAML file, which is a key and value pair. We will talk more about what is YAML and how we can configure a normal repetitive task using an YAML file in our upcoming lectures. Moving to the next one is powerful. When we talk about powerful, Ansible lets you to model even high complex IT workflows. That means tomorrow you want to execute the multiple workflows on multiple servers, Ansible can do it. Only you need to do is declare what you want. The flexible. Ansible is a flexible tool. That means you can customize your needs, what you want to automate or what you want to deploy on XYZ server, Ansible can do it. All you need to do is write a declarative and tell Ansible, okay, this is my key and this is my value for that key, and Ansible will execute the things. Number fifth is agentless. You do not need to install any software on any of the servers. All you need is one master server on which the Ansible exe needs to be downloaded, and then you can start working on it. Number six, efficient. As I mentioned above, you do not need to install any extra software on any of your server. Number seven, SSH. When we talk about SSH, it's a simple passwordless network authentication protocol which is secure, which allows you to connect to the multiple servers without entering the password. All you need to do is generate the private key and a public key and copy that key on the client, so that when you do an SSH on that server, it allows you to enter into a server without entering any password. Moving to the next one, what Ansible can do. The number one is a configuration management. When we talk about configuration management, it refers to the tasks or the process in which we track and control the changes to the managed systems, keeping the integrity in place. The simple example of the configuration management is if you want to install an updated version of a specific software on all the machines in your enterprise, all you need to do is write an IP address of those servers in an inventory file in an Ansible, and then write a simple playbook which will install the latest software on those machines. Hope you got what configuration management is. Moving to the next one is an orchestration. As the name suggests, it brings the different components together as whole one component and making sure they interact with each other as one. The Ansible basically uses an automated workflows, provisioning, and more orchestration tasks easy. An example of this orchestration is deployment of a new website. Before you deploy a new website, you need to execute some pre-tasks and post-tasks after you have deployed the website. The number one pre-task is you might need to disable the ongoing traffic to the load balancer and web server, eh, and then deploy the a new website. Once the website is deployed, you need to again enable the traffic so that the traffic goes into that web node again and taking out the web server from the maintenance mode. These all tasks can be easily written in an Ansible, and it helps you to orchestrate the environment. Moving to the next one is an application deployment. When we talk about application deployment is writing the list of tasks which you can easily automate by executing it manually on each and every machine. As I explained earlier in my slides, this can be easily done by using an SSH protocol, which helps you to communicate with the multiple servers. All you need to do is generate the private key and a public key. Moving to the next one is provisioning. When we talk about provisioning, it means provision the virtual host, network devices, and etc. A common example of this is you want to provision a Linux VM on an EC2 instance in AWS cloud. The next one is security and compliance. The Ansible helps you to automatically configure and make your system security compliant with by not allowing you to monitor it manually. A common example of this is setting up the firewall rules on your server, whether to allow a traffic on port 80 or port 22, which is an SSH. Moving to the important slide here is the architecture of an Ansible. On the right hand side on the corner, you will see a small uh, diagram of an Ansible architecture where it has an Ansible management node, it has an host inventory, a playbook, and it has established the SSH connection to multiple servers. The number one important you need to understand is what is Ansible management node. An Ansible management node is basically a master node on which your Ansible is installed and where all the magic happens. The next is host node, which we call as a worker node, where we are going to manage these nodes using an Ansible. You do not need to install any Ansible or additional software on these host nodes. That's the reason why Ansible is referred as agentless. All it needs is establishing an SSH connection. The third one is host inventory. This is an important file in Ansible where you basically list down all your host IP addresses, and which is referred by an Ansible, and it is named under etc Ansible host. Number fourth is a playbook. The playbook is nothing but a YAML file which is written in key value pair, and you and Ansible basically executes it. All you need to do is write or declare what you want Ansible to execute in this file. Moving to the last one is an Ansible dot configuration. This file contains basically the configuration for the Ansible, like the path of inventory files and what are the default variables you have used in the Ansible. Another alternative, if you don't want to use a playbook, is the ad hoc commands. We will touch base these ad hoc commands in our upcoming sessions on Ansible. One of the important component when you talk about Ansible comes in our mind is Ansible Tower. An Ansible Tower is nothing but a GUI or a web-based solution to manage your playbooks. It is a nice dashboard where you get an overview about what are your hosts, what are your inventories, what are your projects, what are the jobs you have executed, and couple of other things. The benefit of this Ansible Tower is tomorrow when you're, for an example, you're writing a playbook, and in the mid of writing and running a playbook, the Ansible management node, which we call as a control node, goes down, then you need to roll back all your tasks. In this case, the Ansible Tower comes into a picture where it works on the cluster environment. So if the one node goes down, you have an other nodes which will basically handle your playbook which is running. Also, the the Ansible Tower uses a same database across all the nodes, so you do not need to worry about any data loss. How can you log into Ansible Tower? It's simple: HTTPS and the tower server name on which your Ansible is running. Moving to the next benefit of an Ansible Tower is storing the credentials. Uh, in today's environment, it has become very important that you store your passwords into the encrypted format. Okay, and here is where the Ansible comes into a picture where it basically keeps your password secure in an encrypted format on a centralized database, so that you do not need to mention or expose the passwords in your configuration files or in your code. The number Another benefit of the Ansible Tower is job scheduling and a notification support. When we talk about job scheduling, tomorrow if you want to execute a playbook on weekly basis or daily basis, here is where Ansible Tower comes into a picture, where you can basically schedule the uh, playbook to run at a particular time in an Ansible Tower. It's basically nothing but scheduling a cron job. And once that job is completed, you might need to send out a notification to the a distribution list saying that XYZ job has completed. I hope this presentation gave you an overview of what is Ansible, what are the benefits of Ansible, and how Ansible is one of the most powerful automation tool in automating your day-to-day stuff. In upcoming videos, we will be basically talking about what is playbook, what is a YAML file, how to write a simple playbook in establishing the connection to multiple servers, and the ad hoc commands for your day-to-day stuff. Until then, stay tuned and kindly subscribe to my channel for the more updates on DevOps videos and the cloud computing. Take care. Bye bye.